When a public figure builds their reputation on words like compassion, kindness, and advocacy, the pressure to live up to that image can be enormous. And when something cracks, people pay attention. Today, a new controversy has emerged that's raising difficult questions about Meghan Markle's behavior behind the scenes at her Montecito home. A leaked CCTV clip, along with testimonies from individuals familiar with the situation, is fueling heated public debate. Some are calling it a misunderstanding. Others say it is proof of a recurring pattern. But whatever side you fall on, the story is gaining attention fast, and the video is at the center of it. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. According to several sources close to the household, a member of the staff at the Montecito property was allegedly on the receiving end of a sharp confrontation involving Meghan. The CCTV footage that allegedly surfaced reportedly shows Meghan raising her voice in what appears to be a heated exchange. While the content of the video has not been officially confirmed by representatives from the household, the descriptions circulating online paint a vivid enough picture that social media has exploded with conversation. People are questioning whether the woman who speaks so often about emotional well-being and respect may not be practicing what she preaches when the cameras are off. To understand why this incident is resonating so strongly, we need to take a step back. Meghan's public image has always been divided. To some, she is a woman who challenged a centuries-old institution and stood up for her independence. To others, she is seen as calculating, demanding, and excessively controlling of her image. Incidents involving staff becoming emotional, resigning, or speaking anonymously to the press about what they described as an intense and pressurized work environment have circulated in the past. Though Buckingham Palace had launched an inquiry into alleged bullying claims during Meghan's time as a working royal, the findings were never publicly released, leading many to question what was discovered and why it was not shared. So when news of this alleged CCTV footage began spreading, it struck a familiar chord. Observers noted similarities in tone and behavior described before. The story claims that Meghan was visibly frustrated. Her facial expression was tense, and her voice was raised enough that other household staff reportedly took notice. One source described the atmosphere as one where staff did not know how to respond or whether to intervene. The footage reportedly does not show any physical contact or threats. However, the tone and intensity were said to be deeply uncomfortable. These descriptions alone have fueled discussions about whether this incident reflects a broader behavioral pattern or whether it may have been a moment of stress taken out of context. Supporters of Meghan argue that everyone has moments where emotions run high, especially while balancing public pressure, family life, and the intense scrutiny of the press. They point out that the context of the conversation is unknown. What was said beforehand? What were the circumstances? Without that information, they say, judgment is premature and unfair. On the other hand, critics argue that this is not an isolated situation. They point to previous staff turnover, former royal aides who claimed they felt diminished or dismissed, and public accusations that never fully disappeared. These critics say that what we are seeing now is simply a new chapter in a story that has been unfolding for years. The broader question becomes one of consistency. When public figures promote themselves as champions of mental health, empathy, kindness, and emotional safety, audiences often expect that message to be reflected in their private behavior. When that expectation is not met, the public reacts strongly. The issue here goes beyond a single dispute. It taps into the ongoing conversation about what it means to lead with compassion and whether public messaging matches private conduct. Another element making the situation more complicated is how quickly stories like this spread online. The mention of CCTV footage alone is enough to create momentum, even if the video itself has not been widely released. People start forming opinions before all the information is fully available. Discussions become emotional. Social media encourages quick conclusions rather than measured thought. And once a narrative takes hold, it is difficult to change. Representatives for Meghan have, so far, not commented publicly on the claims surrounding this alleged footage. Without an official statement, speculation continues to grow. Some believe that the silence implies seriousness. Others believe that speaking would only add fuel to a situation that is already highly charged. The longer the silence lasts, the more room there is for discussion, debate, and interpretation. But beyond the celebrity aspect, this story raises a broader point. How do we hold public figures accountable without turning them into targets of relentless judgment? And how do we recognize human imperfection without excusing harmful behavior? These are not questions with easy answers. But they are part of the conversation that this incident has now reopened. For now, what is clear is that public perception matters more than ever. Actions taken in private often do find their way into public view. How one speaks to employees, how one manages stress, how one treats others when there are no cameras present, these things shape reputations just as much as speeches and interviews do. In this case, whether this footage is eventually released or not, the claim has already left an impression. People are talking, and not in the way Meghan and her team would hope. As the story develops, more information may come forward. A spokesperson may respond. The staff member involved may speak. Or the footage may surface more widely. Until then, the discussion continues based on what we know today. And for many, this incident reinforces a lingering question that has followed Meghan for years: who is she when the world isn't watching? Thank you for watching. If you want to stay updated as this story unfolds and hear more in-depth coverage on similar breaking developments, be sure to like this video, share your thoughts respectfully in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Your engagement helps shape the conversation, and we want to hear what you think.